So, I mean, what did you learn from Dizzy? I know that's a very plain question, but I mean, loaded as well.
Well, one of the things that I learned from Dizzy was very knowledgeable. Dizzy played piano very well.
Right.
And he was very knowledgeable about harmony and chords and voicings and things like that. So I learned a lot, you know, sometimes not always him telling me, but just observing.
Yes.
Because sometimes, like the last set, if we were playing in a club and it wasn't too crowded, he would chase me away from the piano.
Right.
And he would play himself.
Oh, really?
Maybe a couple of tunes, yeah, during the last set, you know. And then sometimes he would just show me, you know, play this voicing like this, you know. And he was also very knowledgeable about rhythms.
Right.
And I remember him showing the drummer, Rudy Collins, you know, some rhythm. I don't remember what it was, but he was telling him what to do with each limb.
Oh, right.
Yeah, do this with your left foot, play this with your right foot, play this with your left hand, this with your right hand, and hit the cymbal here.
Right.
So he knew what he was talking about.
Sure.
You know, so I learned a lot about that. And then also in terms of just pacing yourself.
Right.
When you're playing, you know, when you're young, you know, you try and play everything you know at every moment.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, and one of the things I learned from him is that you don't have to do that.
Yeah. Because you have great balance in the way you build a melody. It's all built on. You have great logic in the way you play. And I mean, I guess you know, like all the great players, be it Bud Powell, Sonny Clark, as you mentioned, you know, Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, yourself, you all have that great sense of logic. And I mean, is that something that you were thinking about?
I wasn't thinking about it as such, but I guess it's something I was definitely attracted to. And when I look at the people I really listen to, that's the one thing that attracted me to.
Right.
That sense of logic and syntax and how everything made sense. And the way I learned to play was by imitating.
Right.
Which is, I think, how a lot of people learn.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I got from that.
Right.
Was the trying to be logical and to tell stories, so to speak.
Yeah. And so after Dizzy, you went with Freddie Hubbard.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, in various configurations. You know, he had a sextet one time that was incredible. With Dizzy, we were playing very much bebop-oriented music, and it was kind of what it was.
Yes.
You know, and with Freddie, I got a chance to stretch out a little more and to try different things. So that was a great learning experience for me. He had a band that had Benny Maupin on tenor saxophone, James Spaulding on alto, a bass player named Herbie Lewis, and drummer named Freddie Waits, whose son is playing now, actually, Nasheed Waits. Yeah. But one of the things I loved about that band was that we could shift gears. We could play any kind of music, any style, in one tune. You know, and unfortunately the band never really recorded, but it was that kind of band. You know, we could play outside, inside, you know, so for me it was a great experience.
Why do you think you didn't record?
I don't know. I mean, we did one record, and for this particular record, he augmented the band with some other horns, so it never got the kind of looseness that we got live. You know, it felt very much. It was so organized, the recording, but live it was very, very loose.
So I guess you really had a chance to build your own conception there because he was thinking more where you were coming from.
Yeah, and I think between working with Freddie and also working with, I spent some time working with Yusef Lateef, who was also, I mean, in terms of allowing you to express yourself and just allowing you to do what you want to do. That was another great experience. Yeah. You know, because he had some very unusual music, and he encouraged you to just stretch.
In what way did you find you were stretching yourself with Yusef? Because he was experimenting with Eastern sounds and...
Yeah. But with Yusef, I could play if I wanted to. I mean, just a lot of non-chordal things, things that were outside of the chordal structure. It was not a problem with him.
Right.
You know, anyway, if I wanted to play with my toes, I mean, that's the feeling I got.
Right.
If I wanted to play with my toes, I could do that.
So you could truly be yourself.
Yeah, I could truly do that. You know, so it was, it was a great experience. I also found my limitations. Yeah. You know, which was good. You know, at that point, I found that I didn't want to go beyond a certain point.
Sure.
At that time. You know, so which was good for me. You know.
Was there ever a time amongst all of these great people you were working with where you thought to yourself, I've really come into my own sound here? Have you ever listened to yourself and think, yeah, I can recognize myself? Obviously, you know how you sound, but maybe perhaps recognize yourself in others.
Interestingly enough, I have not felt that way until maybe, or I didn't feel that way until maybe a couple of years ago.
Really?
Yeah, that I started to say, oh, okay, that's me. Because those are things that I do. That I could recognize. That's me. Mm-hmm. But only until a couple of years. That didn't happen until a few years ago.
Wow. Because Mulgrew Miller, another great pianist,
one of my favorites,
he said the same thing. He said that you were a huge influence on him, and there are many things that he took from you that he owes you a great debt of gratitude for.
Yeah, well, I just heard him a couple of weeks ago at the Village Vanguard in New York, and he's definitely one of my favorites. And I walked up to him after the set and just told him I'm going to cut his fingers off because he is so incredible.
Yes, he is.
He's so incredible.
As a human being as well.
As well. You're right. As well.
So after Yusuf Lateef in '75, you worked with Ron Carter.
With Ron, yeah, with the band with two basses. And I learned a lot working with Ron. One of the things that Ron is very keen about is using dynamics in the band. And I learned how to play soft in that band and still kind of keep the intensity happening.
Yeah.
Because he was very keen on that.
And around the same time, well, I guess '73, you started teaching full time at Rutgers.
Right. Yeah.
And what did that bring out of you? I mean,
well, I did it for 25 years, and one of the things that was great about that is that it's very challenging, and you get to meet. I taught a lot of players who are now out there making records and doing, like Terrence Blanchard, pop singer Regina Bell, David Sanchez, and a few others. They were all my students. Ralph Peterson.
Yes.
But that's one of the great things about teaching is meeting really good students who help you find yourself, actually. Because I learned as well.
Right.
And that's one of the great things. I mean, and I'm actually still teaching because I retired from Rutgers, but now I teach part-time at Manhattan School of Music, and I've got some great students there. And they started a new program at Juilliard.
That's right.
And I've got 2 students there, so it's fantastic. It's tiring sometimes, but I love it.
What do you try and get out of a student?
Well, basically, I'm not going to sit and tell a student, okay, here's 100 voicings for a C7. So I'll give them a concept. These are the things that are possible, and let them find them. That way they'll remember them. If I show them, boom, 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 those are things that you forget very easily. But if you learn something on your own, that stays with you. So that's what I try and get. I try and get them to find whatever it is they're looking for. Get them to find it.
Make their own journey.
Yeah, rather than me giving it to them. And fortunately they already come to me with something on the table anyway. So I don't have to show them what a B flat is or anything like that. They already know that.
Well, Kenny Barron, it's a real honor and pleasure to speak to you. Thank you for being our guest.
I appreciate it.